Do we have any hope to make the playoffs with this current roster? We give it to you.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel.com. More on them in a moment. He, of course, is Clint. I am Daniel. Together, the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. We're Georgia fans, talking like Georgia fans about things Georgia fans talk about here every single day with you, Georgia fans. And maybe some Auburn fans sprinkled in there.
Auburn fans are here.
Yeah, we got some Auburn fans sprinkled in there. How are things going for y'all? I'll wait. I'll hang up and listen. Things going good? You pretty happy with
the
Hugh
program
Freeze?
around. Jackson Arnold, Hugh Freeze have made a tandem that cannot be.
That is the nice thing is that you hired a good Christian man, though. He's not soliciting the help of some women of the night via a burner phone for his players.
Can't prove that, Daniel.
No, you would. Well, that's why you get a burner phone.
That's why.
All right. So we are here talking not about Auburn yet. We'll have plenty of time this week to get into Auburn. Just simmer down, Auburn. This is the adult table. We're going to talk about Georgia. And, we mentioned on the Overreaction show, here we are on a Monday, as always, kind of checking back in with our emotions. We mentioned on the Overreaction show, it's a long season. Yeah. There's a lot of ups and downs in the season. Georgia's been through both. I mean, huge, dramatic win on the road in Tennessee.
What a good one.
Gutting loss at Alabama when, we really played well in stretches in that game. Could have won the game. Gutting loss in that one. And then a bounce back, kind of get right, called it a neck crack game against Kentucky over the weekend. The big picture still, Clint, is the college football playoff. It's a national championship. That's what Georgia wants. That's who Georgia's trying to be. And you tease the people in the open a reason that they should have hope. And so I'll just kick it over to you, Clint. Where do you want to start in terms of this discussion on whether or not Georgia fan would be sensible, to use a word, in having hope that this team might make the playoff and make a run at a national championship?
We're going to get into why it's so crucial on the defensive side of the ball first, because we were banging this drum all offseason. All offseason, we said, without a good defense, you are not winning a national championship. I still believe this. I'm not coming off of that take at all.
Oh, okay.
What I'm here to tell you is I saw some things change after Alabama. I thought after bye week and after Bama, we were going to see some changes. And sure enough, Daniel, I have evidence. Evidence. Some things were changing. Okay. Offensive side of the ball, we have some exciting things, and I have actually numbers to indicate that Kentucky got abused. Not just defensive line for Kentucky got abused by our offensive line, like in a horribly bad way. We ran it straight down their throat.
Yep.
On the defensive side of the ball, I'm just going to go quickly to snap counts. And this is important. Midway through the third quarter, we saw hockey line change where Kirby said, I'm going to get guys snaps. Okay?
Oh, a lot of snaps. For a lot of dudes.
A lot of dudes. But that came halfway through the third quarter. Daniel, halfway through the third quarter is not half the game.
No.
But it was a time in which Kirby said, I'm still going to get guys reps. That's why we saw Kelly come in at corner. I thought he played very, very well. DeMello Jones continued getting snaps in that time, but he was getting snaps well ahead of that time. I'm just going to go to snap count on the defensive side of the ball, and particularly on the defensive line. I'm going to go there first because I think this is really important. Defensive line, tied for number one with Kristen Miller. By the way, Kristen Miller getting quadruple teamed on some plays, and I'm not kidding you with that.
No.
He's literally getting four guys trying to block him or trying to get around him to block others.
Also, the most effective quarterback pressure of the day came from Kristen Miller.
Correct. So. Tied with him, Elijah Griffin. Tied with him for snap count. Okay?
We talked about this in the Tennessee game, friends.
We did.
Jordan Hall went down with an injury in the Kentucky game. That's why. But those three guys in the Tennessee game is 1, 2, 3. They're all right there together. Kristen Miller, Jordan Hall, and Elijah Griffith. Jordan Hall obviously goes down with injury, so it would make sense. Elijah Griffith, he is the second guy
He's
on
number
that
2
defensive line.
Now, this should encourage you and excite you because let me tell you again, he has played a grand total of 5 games on the collegiate level in his entire career, and he's already wreaking havoc on SEC offensive lines.
Mm-hmm.
His arrow is pointing squarely up and will only get better each and every week. I haven't seen a drop-off in him, Daniel, at all.
No.
There has not been a regression for Elijah Griffin. Now, it does stink. We said this before the season. If we had to count on him to get pressures, it's going to be a long season for us. So far, it's been true. We have not had pressures.
It's been a long season so far.
So far. However, his snap counts continue to go, and with more snap counts, he's going to get more and more run and better. Ogboku, 16 snaps. Justin Green, 14. JJ Haney, 18. Josh Horton, 17. Big Joe, 14. Xavier McLeod, 13. Jordan Thomas, 12. Jordan Hall, 10. The injury to that. Yeah. What I mean to tell you about this defensive line is that's a little bit of pecking order shift is happening within the defensive line. Daniel, we're seeing new guys. The name JJ, that's a new name. Again, I know midway through, that's a new name. Josh Horton, a new name. Transfer. Ogboku had the sack. New name. Yeah. Getting snap counts. We are seeing different guys get in to try their run. That should excite you because a lot of these guys are inexperienced with more time. Kirby is clearly rewarding them with what he's seeing in practice. The more reps you have, the more good reps, the more trust Kirby has. That's only exciting to us because we haven't seen it so far, but we're getting a new defensive line shift, a new rotation. And that's exciting, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Elijah Griffin is going to be, he's only going to continue to get better. I think the two names that excite me are Haney and Ogboku. What I saw out of those two, like I'm a big fan of, and I think Georgia deeply needs it in terms of their defensive front. And I think we're seeing some of these guys kind of emerge. Listen, Georgia can't just continue to run the same guys out there. Kirby Smart's not a dummy. Like he gets it. He understands as these guys continue to practice, as they continue to develop, Georgia's going to need new guys to step up. And so I think, when you started that defensive line, obviously you've got Kristen Miller and he's at the top. I think Jordan Hall, when he is healthy, which has always been a struggle for him, is going to be right there with him. And those two guys in particular have been the reason that Georgia has been so stout against the run this year. And why we've been forcing teams into obvious passing situations. Yes. Now, the problem is we've not been able to capitalize on those obvious passing situations. Vanderbilt sacked the Alabama quarterback 4 times in that game. Vanderbilt. I don't care if they're improved. Diego Pavia ain't playing defensive line.
No.
I do not care what Clark Lee has done. Vanderbilt should not do anything better than Georgia. Period. You're talking about the difference between a day game in Tuscaloosa and a night game in Athens, and Vanderbilt got 4 more sacks than Georgia did against Alabama. It's unacceptable. So you're going to have to see some of these guys continue to step up, and I think those are the names particularly that I'm looking at on the defensive line.
And really quick, Elijah Griffin, freshman. Kristen Miller, the experience. JJ, freshman. Horton, transfer. Ogboku, freshman. These are guys who are getting snaps significantly. The talent is there. Now let's transition it to production. We're going to come back after this. We're going to continue talking about this roster and why there is bright spots. But first, these. And these are, in fact, Peloton. Peloton's fantastic. It's shaping the future of fitness. Brand new Peloton cross-training. Whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors, guess what? Peloton's got you. This is Training Reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you play, stay motivated, and reach peak performance. The swivel screen is a game changer. You can go from running on the tread plus to strength training without missing a beat. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Plus today at onepeloton.com.
Clint, as we get into some more names, let me just say, I think the best thing that happened on Saturday was the late third and fourth quarters for the University of Georgia. And And let me just, if I could for a second, try to put it into some perspective. Last year, Georgia did not get these runs. Last year, Gunnar Stockton did not play. You understand? Like,
No, zero.
It's not all about the quarterback, but it's the easiest position to see. Like, oh, Ryan Puglisi's in. Like, that's a marked shift. You know, when Ryan Puglisi comes in, Gunnar Stockton ain't coming back in that game. Like, the coaching staff has fully, if Gunnar Stockton has to come back in that game, something has gone horrifically wrong, because that coaching staff has no intention of putting him back in that game. It is a full scale, okay, we have won this game. Correct. Now we are going to focus entirely on practice, basically, for the rest of the game. Gunnar Stockton didn't play last year. Georgia didn't have these games. They did not have games where they blew people out. Go back and look at the scores of some of these games. They just did not blow anyone out. They did not get off to commanding leads. They let people hang around in these games. And we were throwing the ball in the fourth quarter to try to secure victories against inferior opponents. We beat Kentucky by 1 point last year. 1 point. We blew them out on Saturday. A complete and total shift in the way this team performs. And that is such an important thing for Georgia, because you mentioned it at the top. If Georgia's going to get where we want to go, this is not me being, overly negative. If you'd like me to be overly negative, just ask, and I'll be happy to.
Please don't ask. It happens enough.
This is not me being overly negative. This is just a simple statement of fact. Kirby Smart in his presser, if you listen carefully, will agree with you. If Georgia's going to get where they need to go, they're going to have to keep getting a lot better every week. They need to improve. Kirby said it after the game. There's only going to be so many teams from here on out that are going to get better. Most teams are going to either stay the same or get worse. Guess what Georgia did last year? The whole season, they flatlined. It was basically the same team that we saw week one as we saw in the Sugar Bowl against Notre Dame. Same team. Yeah. Georgia needs to continue to get better. How do you get better? You get young players reps. You find players that can contribute to the winning of your program, and you infuse the talent where it is needed. Guys need reps. They need to continue to grow. You mentioned it with Elijah Griffin. You mentioned it with these freshmen on the defensive line. Guys need these kinds of reps against SEC. Kentucky had their starters in the game
the whole time.
That's an SEC offense and defense that our 2s, 3s, 4s are going up against. These are invaluable reps, not only for these players' developments, Clint, but for Georgia to win a national championship. These are the kinds of games. This is not like we need more of these.
Yeah,
and listen,
a lot more of these.
They ain't many cupcakes on the schedule. Like Mississippi State, that's a quality ball club. Like, there's not many cupcakes left on this schedule.
No.
So I don't know how many more of these Georgia's going to get. It was very important on Saturday that they got this one.
Let me just break down a calendar of student athletics in this new. This is the most concentrated time the new guys, will be together practicing being coached in strength and conditioning the entire calendar year. We had fall camp. We had the spring where a couple guys were on campus early, but that is not the same as what went through with fall camp for a truncated period of time. And now the biggest stretch of practice and coaching they will get the entire calendar year. So why you should be excited, Georgia fan, is because guys like DeMello Jones are starting to show out. Why? He's getting coached more. Period. Like, he's getting coached more. And you heard Kirby after the game talk about in the presser, the eyes of the secondary are lost. He admits it. He sees it. If you can't see it, I don't know how to help you. It's blatantly obvious. He acknowledged it. This will come when you start getting, like, I saw the gel of the 5 offensive linemen. That's what before my eyes came together. If you were to ask me before the season, you lose your your starting tackles. And I had to edit myself there. And the
one
next
of your
5
best
guys,
tackles.
One of your best tackles. That's yes. And the next two guys will be on the right side, both true freshmen just turning 18 years old. And that will be the best unit you've fielded all year. I would have been like, really? And we're running at an incredible clip? Yeah, you're running at an incredible clip. These reps are important because this is the most concentrated coaching. DeMello Jones, guys like that. The other guys that I saw have huge snap counts on the defensive side in the secondary. Maddox, 30. Branch, 27. Kyron Jones only had 26 snaps. Ja'Cory Thomas, 24 snaps.
Yeah.
That's different. Ellis Robinson, 42. Those were good reps for those young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Same on the offensive side. That offensive line got to come together. And by the way, I do think we're going to be out. Monroe Freeling and Ernest Green will not be playing in this game at Auburn. I'm almost guaranteed.
Want to talk about it.
Hey, by the way, just really quick, looking ahead to this week's schedule, come back on the Don't Sleep On because this game going to be real close. And if you think Gunnar Stockton is going to be throwing it 35 times this game, you are dead wrong. And I don't want to see that either. I
okay.
Want to
all right. Let's focus up. The deeper we get, I want to focus on the offense and some names that stood out to me on the offensive side. But first, I want to say this: I'm all there on DeMello Jones. I've seen enough. I've seen all that I need to see.
All right, that was the first domino, y'all. That's good.
Do I think Ellis Robinson's got a chance to continue to develop? Absolutely, I do. Right now, if you've said pick two corners and they're the only two guys that can play the rest of the year, I am taking Dalen Everett and DeMello Jones. Those are the two guys I'm choosing to ride with. If you said pick two safeties, I still have no idea who I'm going to pick for that second safety spot.
We'd probably pick different safeties if we all got in a room and said you only got two.
I have no idea how I'm supposed to decide who I'm going to pick. I'll tell you some other names on the defensive side of the ball that I liked what I saw on Saturday. Justin Williams.
Yes,
I liked what I saw out of Justin Williams. Now, that being said, Chris Cole's been getting a ton of snaps this year. Justin Williams, not nearly as many. I've just not been all that impressed by what I've seen out of Chris Cole so far. We were so high on him coming into the season. I do think he has an incredible skill set. He just doesn't seem like he's able to finish on some of these plays. Justin Williams plays with fire, passion, and energy. You can see it in the way that he moves, in the way that he strikes people, in the way that he aggressively pursues the ball. I liked what I saw out of him. I will tell you this, Clint, and maybe I'm getting well ahead of myself here.
Could be.
But I liked what I saw out of Zayden Walker a little bit in garbage time on Saturday.
A little bit?
No, a lot. Daniel, I liked a lot what I saw out of Zayden Walker. Okay, so look, I know this inside linebacker room is stacked.
It is.
Find a way to get me the guys on the field who need to be on the field. Now, I'm not saying that Raylan and CJ don't need to be on the field because they do.
They do. Correct.
Maybe one of these inside linebackers needs just to get out there and rush the passer, Clint. Maybe he just needs to get out there and rush the passer. God knows we ain't got nobody playing outside linebacker. I'll tell you that. Who are they? What are those names? Who are those people?
Gabe Harris and Johnson have been disappearing acts this year.
I just don't. So maybe it's time for Justin Williams and Zayden Walker, Chris Cole to just be rotating in there and saying, you know what? Forget about all that. Why don't you just hit this tackle as hard as you possibly can and see what happens?
That's all you got to do.
I promise you, I know what's going to happen against Auburn because that offensive line can't block nobody. If we can't get pressure this week, y'all,
please stop.
I'm here to tell you, you're not ready for what I'm going to bring to the podcast. You're not ready for it if we can't get pressure this week.
Kirby Smart did indicate that the size is the biggest thing that he is looking for on the defensive line. Daniel, maybe give me a little reframing.
Kirby Smart also been out here talking about, well, the opportunity. I haven't seen any opportunities. There are no opportunities. I know some Vandy found some opportunities, Kirby, against Alabama. They sure did.
Hey, what are their names?
Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball, because I got a name and he is large.
But first, let's know about Square. Hey, this episode brought to you by Square, your favorite neighborhood sports run on
This episode
Square.
brought to you by Queso.
Whether it's sports bar dedicated to your team's fan base, the spot with wings, best game, the businesses that bring you together like El Fuego does in East Nashville. Tell us about how good that queso is. Let me tell you, it's fantastic. Every time I go to Nashville, I make sure that we're getting it. It's the spot. Sports is something that brings the neighborhood together, whether it's gathering for game day rituals, celebrating the best wings in town, or just being part of the fan base. That calls for more. Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go to support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square, see you in the neighborhood. But that's not all, Daniel. Also, FanDuel. FanDuel is fantastic. And right now, FanDuel is helping our people out by making a $5 bet that wins. You get $300 in bonus bets. Right smack dab into the account.
Deposit.
Unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Whether you're a casual fan or you love diving in the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. You said that he was quite large on the offensive side and that he excited you, Daniel.
Yeah. All things can be true.
All things can be true. What about this larger-than-life individual excites you?
Well, let me paint a picture for you at the back. Let me take you back to the beginning of the season, to the Marshall game, if you
Wayback Machine. Here we go.
Okay. Georgia's tight end room, we all know, absolutely loaded. Okay.
It is.
Oscar Delp, we love. Lawson Lucky, we love. By the way, those two guys, what they're doing on the perimeter, what they continue to do on the perimeter, blocking, the casual has no idea. A, how valuable the tight ends already are to this offense, or B, how much money those two gentlemen are going to get paid in the NFL because of the tape that they've already put, into existence. NFL GMs care about more than touchdown catches.
We're not utilizing the tight ends enough.
Yes, we are. We're utilizing the tight ends on every daggum play.
I need more targets.
These NFL GMs would beg to differ.
They do.
Charlie Werner is still cashing NFL checks right now.
Yeah. He's starting.
He's a starter. He's a starter in the NFL. Okay,
cool.
Lawson Lucky and Oscar Delp going to get paid a lot of money in the NFL.
Yep. Yes, they will.
So nothing I'm about to say has anything to do with those two guys. But do you remember, Clint, week 1, snap 1 against Marshall?
I do.
There were 2 tight ends on the field.
Yeah, we were in 12 personnel.
One of them was Oscar Delp.
Who was the other?
His name was Ethan Barber, the true freshman 4-star tight end, the guy that literally no one, not even the sites with the paywall, told you was even a remote candidate to be on the field. Georgia came out with 3 tight ends that they clearly liked going into this season. And they were Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, and Ethan Barber, the true freshman. All that to say, I think it's fair to say that there is room for 3 tight ends to be heavy contributors in this offense. That, in fact, that's what the coaching staff would prefer. And based on what I've seen, Clint, with Ethan Barber down with the injury, he was clearly the guy, like tight end number 3. With him down with the injury, the next guy that's likely to assume that role is not Jaden Riddell, who's got the year of playing experience. It is Elias Williams, the true freshman, the 6'7", 280-pound monster, 230-pound monster that is like an absolute problem in the receiving game. You said he's Big O Jr., and I'm here to tell you he moves so much better than Big O ever did. Now, I would be shocked if he is ever the blocker that Darnell Washington was.
Darnell Washington, with just a flick of his chicken wing, is sending D linemen flying.
Darnell Washington won us a national championship, y'all.
Yep.
By putting his body into a outside linebacker and making that guy regret every decision he'd ever made.
It's called washing the end of the line of scrimmage down, and he just scrubbed that thing and took it all the way down to the center and said, you stay here.
If Elias Williams becomes half the blocker that Darnell Washington was, God help the defenses in the SEC, because Elias Williams can flat out run a route. He can get in and out of breaks. He is fluid with his hands. He is a problem. I'm going to go back to the Ryan Puglisi interception, which casuals do not want to talk about. By the way, did you hear Kirby's breakdown of the Ryan Puglisi interception?
I did.
He said, no, we were in the right play. Everybody ran the right route. He threw it to the other team. That's called an interception. That's literally shot for shot Kirby Smart's breakdown of the interception. But okay.
We need to get him more run.
Yeah. Yeah, in those situations we do, because he needs to improve. That is correct. We need to get him more run. We also need to pray that Gunnar Stockton does not go down with an injury, because he is QB1 for a reason. Elias Williams was wide open on that play. Like, wide open on that play. He had 3 catches. He looked good in the game. Could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see him more. Like, this is not going to go away. Now, Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky, again, based on what they do blocking, like, alone, they deserve to be getting the vast majority of the snaps. But you're going to see sprinkled in there Elias Williams more and more. And I'm telling you, as you do, that is yet another weapon for this Georgia offense. It's an embarrassment of riches at this point.
It's an embarrassment of riches. And here's just, if you can't, Ethan Barber showed me this. If you can't block, you will not see the field at tight end for Georgia.
And that's why it was Barber, not Williams, coming into the season.
Okay. I think as he continues to improve, and where we have Delp and where we have Lucky and all, I'm here to tell you that I want 7 yards of carry with Chauncey Bowens. Running up and down the field. Taking time off the clock and hitting explosive shots with Gunnar. This is what we thought the offense was going to be before the season. The offensive line, I think we're going to start seeing it, not after Auburn. Get me out of Jordan Hare with a win, and I don't care about anything else. That's all I care about right now. I don't care about
one more point than Auburn. Please.
It's Jesus. 8-7. I don't care. I will count that. I will be happy as a clam. Okay?
Do not care.
But after that, I think our offense is going to be a different vehicle. I think we're going to see what we saw at the beginning of the year with the offensive line gelling with that running game attacking and Gunnar Stockton taking shots downfield that we called for. That beginning of the year, we didn't have the running game because we had the wrong running back in. Now we do. We got the wrong offensive line in. Now we do. We had the wrong receivers. Now we do. Mm-hmm. It's going to start clicking. And it's going to buy us time for the defense to get improved, which I do think it's going to happen. It's coming there. He is Daniel. I am Clint. We'll be talking all week long leading up to Auburn about this Georgia team, giving you reason for hope for the whole entire season. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.